Welcome back to FryMinis. I'm Julie, and today I'm showing off my favorite monster minis from Eric's enormous collection. In case you don't know, Eric has so many minis. We counted them up about a year ago for his video on how to sort and store minis, and at that point he had 2,600. 2,600! We've done a lot of unboxing since then, so that number has to be over 3,000 at this point. Now, I know, there's no such thing as enough minis, let alone too many minis. Sure, in my heart of hearts, I know that might be true. And as much as I razz Eric about his collection, if it were a real problem, I wouldn't be part of this YouTube channel. So, like in any relationship, it's a lovable annoyance that I indulge because there's little consequence to it and it makes him really happy, and that's what matters. Eric and I both love Dungeons & Dragons, so this is definitely our shared interest. And while everything in this house is ours, these minis are more his than they are mine. He buys them, catalogs them, stores them, and all that kind of stuff. I just squeal with delight at them or roll my eyes at them and then maybe even gag at them. Today, I went through his not too many, but kind of too many minis to pull out 10 of my favorite monsters. When Eric does unboxing, he has a detailed star rating scale for sculpt and paint and fun. I'm not doing that. These are just 10 monster minis in no particular order that I think are awesome. I don't know the lore and I don't care to research it. If you have a question about them, please ask them in the comments below and Eric will reply. But that's not what I'm about, so here we go. All right, on with the magic and delight. Okay, let's start with this treant. I love this mini. It has so much detail to it and it's really exciting. I actually got this for Eric for his birthday because it was not like anything I had seen before, so I was pretty sure he didn't already have it. There are a lot of minis that are treants or something like that made out of wood, but this one is different. It's thicker, it's bulkier, it's got green lush detail, so it's not just hollow sticks walking around, and I just think it's a lot of fun. It's also got great detail with some rope vines along the back, and I just love his expression. He looks like he's not having it, but he's also not angry all the time. He just looks like a lovable grump, and that's what I like to see in my tree creatures. And shout out to Eric for painting this. He did a fantastic job. It's got great detail to it. The shades of green and brown really stand out while still looking like one tree, one being, and I love this mini. Look at this chubby friend. Look at him. I don't even think he could stand up to fight you. He's just tired. You know what I mean? I think with his little open mouth, he's just saying, leave me alone. And I'm fine with that. I want to give him my treasures or my fish or whatever else he wants to eat and then just let him go on his merry way. I want that for him. I love that he's so chubby, that he's sitting like a fat, small breed of dog, like a French bulldog. I just think he's delightful, and I know that he could kill me. I'm fine with that. If that's the way that I have to go, that's the way that I have to go. That's no problem. The sculpt is really fun. The way that he's sitting so chubbily and perfectly, I find this delightful. I know that it's a monster, but I'm not that afraid of it. This is also a great opportunity to think about whether you have to fight every monster that you encounter, right? I don't want to kill this. You know what I mean? I just want to let him go on his merry way or take him to where he needs to go. So as I said, I don't know the lore. I don't think I can communicate with this thing, but if there were a druid in my party that could communicate with this animal and make him leave us alone if we left him alone, that's exactly what I would want to do. And it's really exciting when you have a monster or an NPC that you don't always have to fight. And how could you look this thing in the eyes and kill it? How could you? Shambling mounds are a little bit hit or miss for me. On the one hand, it's like a pile of mold and swamp things that can eat you alive. And on the other hand, look at this little guy. He's reaching out because he needs a hug, not because he's going to engulf you. Maybe. This is yet another one that Eric painted, and he did such a fantastic job. When I was thinking through kind of what minis I would pull for my favorite monsters, this one definitely came to mind. The shiny red and yellow mushrooms growing out the top of its head, the great blends of brown and green and kind of this awful muddy kind of baby poop yellow color. The teeth are shiny and glossy. This is another one that's a fantastic sculpt, a really great paint job, and just, it's fun. It's horrifying. It's magical. It's exciting. I love this monster. This one's a little bit different from the other minis, I think. This is one of the first sets that Eric did an unboxing video for. I can't think of another mini that looks like this. I love that it's got glitter embedded in it. It looks like the mini was made out of semi-translucent plastic, and then they embedded some glitter flakes in it. It's just dry brush, but it's with purple and red that can so often go muddy or like really edgy. And this one, they nailed it. The gold detail stands out the right way that it should against the specks of glitter, that it's not a glittery mini, but it has glitter in it to make it feel like a galaxy. It's incredible. I love this mini. It's just such a perfect envisioning of what a monster from the stars would look like. If I were to visualize what the Taurus sign would be like on the table fighting me, this is exactly what it would be. And I mean that as a compliment. I think it's perfectly executed. It's imaginative, it's creative, it's different from anything else we have in our collection, but it's recognizable. You know what this is, that it's some sort of galaxy-like being in the shape of a bull, which is one of the star signs and one of the constellations. And this is exactly what it should look like. It's amazing. Okay, so at a glance, this is just a scorpion. I've never seen a scorpion that wasn't in a museum, thankfully, or a zoo or something like that. But a lot of the minis in this list of my favorites are things that you don't see in real life. Trees don't come to life, unfortunately, and space cows aren't real. But this you could see in real life, but Eric added the details to it to make it more exciting, to make it more unrealistic. I know the size is going to be bigger than whatever mini I'm playing on the table. The brass detail is really nice. He's got this matte finish to it that's, it's great. Between the blues and this rocky base and the bronze detail that he has here, this mini really just stands out. It's scary, it's gross, but it's not horrifying and disgusting, I guess. I just really love this kind of monster that I don't hate seeing the mini on the table, but I'm still afraid of it and I know I should be. This Razormouth is one of the minis that I never want to encounter in a game, but I'm happy to have in our collection. It's got this disgusting mouth. I mean, it's a razor mouth. I get it, but it's gross to look at. And the way that Eric painted it, it looks magical and mystical and fantastical. And I just love to see it. He did a fantastic job getting gold along the back and then these kind of bronze fin spikes across it. So it's got dimension to it. And the sculpt itself is really fun too. It's got this little hand that's just kind of reaching for you. But all you can really see is the teeth and this mouth that just fades into darkness. It's a super cool mini. And when I think about what monsters look like in Dungeons and Dragons, there is some big scorpion-like things, obviously, and things that I know that I'm afraid of in real life. And then there's stuff like this. I've never seen anything like this, and I hope I never do in real life, but I love seeing it on the table. And a special shout out to Eric on the basing too. This kind of sand effect makes me feel like I'm going to encounter this in the middle of a sewer. I don't know if I'm going to, but this looks like either a weird space planet or a sewer. That's where I think I'm going to see this thing. And do I imagine that something like this might be crawling through the sewers in a city near me? Yeah, I hope it's not, but I think it might be. This dire crab is another one that Eric painted, and I think it's adorable. He's just so sad. You know what I mean? Compared to all the other kind of monsters here, this is a crab. What's he gonna do? Pinch you? Run away or step on him? You know what I mean? And granted, he's big compared to the minis on the table. I know that, but it's a little bit hard to be afraid of something that you eat, no matter what the size is. Eric also did a really great job choosing the paint for this mini. I've never seen a crab this shade of blue. The yellow contrast looks really good. And I have to say, I frequently give Eric a hard time for painting things in way too many bright colors. And I say that it looks like a clown threw up on him or a clown factory exploded or something like that. This is bright and it's unrealistic, but it's beautiful. And that lack of realism makes it more exciting on the table and more exciting as a part of this collection. That's kind of part of the fun of being able to paint your own minis. You can paint them whatever color you want. They don't have to be right for the lore. They can be a special character as part of a campaign, or I drew the duck blue because I'd never seen a blue duck before, and to tell you the truth, I wanted to see one. It's cute, and your character can be afraid of it when it takes its first pinch or damage from it, but you don't have to be when it's on the table. I love this mini. If you don't already know how much I love this mini, start over. Watch all of our videos. This is the best thing that's ever happened to me. Look how fat he is. Look at his chins. He looks like one of my favorite lizard memes that's just going, and I do that all the time. I love this mini. I love him. He's so detailed. The level of texture across his entire body, his back, his belly that I'm seeing now may at one time have been split open, but I'm not going to talk about that. I love his expression, his big froggy lizardy grin. I love the magical effect on it. That's so cool to have. I don't even know what this is, but something magical. He's not just big and meaty and going to kill you with all of his power. He's magical as well, which is kind of the whole point of this game. So I love this mini. He's a big chubby boy. I just love this. I am as surprised as you are to find a beholder in my top 10 monster minis. I hate fighting beholders. I know that they're an iconic monster. I know that we've fought them tons of times with all my different characters, but like, they're gross. You know what I mean? I don't like them. But Eric painted this one, and I think he did such a fantastic job. I love how much he got the eye stalks to really stand out against the mini itself. The eyeballs he did a really great job on, and I'm not just here to praise Eric's painting. You know what I mean? It's a big part of his life, and that's awesome, and I'm proud of him. But I think he did such an outstanding job on this one that it's the best beholder that we have, I think. Ha! You're welcome. The shading that he got on it looks really fantastic, and to me, this is just a classic beholder. As I said, I don't know the lore. It might be not a classic beholder, but it's what it feels like to me. So I really love this one. The sculpt is cool. The eye cutout is actually, the main eye is 3-dimensional, and he did a really great job painting it. So it's actually cut out in the mini. It's not perfectly round along the sides. The mouth is scary. The teeth highlights are really good. The color scheme is really fun and beautiful. I feel like I had to have a classic D&D monster in my top 10, and this is definitely the one to go for. This is the only mini in this set that I actually am afraid of. I did the unboxing of this set, and this one looks like nightmares. It's black, it's spooky, it has kind of a humanoid face, but not quite, so it looks a little bit like a blend between a spider and a horse and a human. It's what nightmares are made of, truly. And I love this mini. One of the things that you've probably heard me talk about is that I don't like minis that are gory. I don't like body horror. I don't, blood happens. I'm not afraid of it in real life, but it just seems needless a lot of times in games. So I don't like people or bodies that are stitched together or anything like that. I think there are better ways to be scary that don't also gross me out. And this is a perfect example. It's black. It's death themed. It probably smells like sulfur. It's got this amazing magical effect wafting behind it, so you know that it's spectral and there's going to be some level of magic to it. It's incredible. I'm okay to be scared when I'm playing Dungeons and Dragons, and this is what I prefer to be afraid of, as opposed to, something bloody and that's going to eat me alive. This is going to suck my soul out, and it's scary. But I can stand to look at the mini, and it's even one of my favorites for that reason. And I would be remiss if I didn't actually showcase what are the best minis of all time. Anything Froggy! I love these minis, and if I could, I would declare each and every one of them to be the best thing that's ever happened to anybody. But that's not quite as fun as this is. So that said, if you love Froggy friends, please join our Discord at discord.gg/FryMinis, and let's talk about them forever and ever and ever and ever. Okay, great. See you there. So there you have it, my 10 favorite monster minis in Eric's vast collection. I'll be sure to do a video of my favorite humanoid minis too, but give me a little time. What do you think? What's your favorite monster mini? Comment below and let us know. As always, thank you so much to our patrons, the Spud Club. You make our channel and Eric's mini habit possible, and we're super grateful for your support. Yes, I am grateful for people who enable Eric's mini buying. I mean it. Thank you. Please like, subscribe, join us on Discord, and continue supporting the channel however you can. Thanks so much. I'll see you next time.